Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we share what response disappoints us when you ask someone, what's your favorite bourbon? My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Darren MacLeod, and Katie Joyce.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello. So, yes, we've got a fun show today. We're going to be saying what answers disappoint us when we ask someone, what is your favorite bourbon? We're going to get very judgmental. We're not that way, but today we have to be because it's the show. There's nothing we can do. We don't want to be this way, but we have to do it for you, the listening audience. It's your fault. As you hear this, no, anything we say is your fault. All right, McNew, what do you got? You said you want to talk about something. What is that?
All right, Steve, so you posted the other day in our Facebook group about a really bad reality show. Like, it looked like it was trash, right? The
Dr. Down Under. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many...
Talking about your naughty bits and shit that goes wrong.
I assumed Australia.
And I like the description. It's not even medical. It's like the guy has an extra pee hole because he got a bad piercing. An extra pee hole? I mean, is that what is officially called?
He's trying to aim. You have to aim that stuff. Now it's like going in his space.
I get it. I 100% get it. But it seems like in the online TV guide that they give you, where they should use some medical terms, should be like
come up with anything better than extra pee hole.
Extra pee. Literally, the quote was extra pee.
The piercing he took out, and I was cackling because I'm just like, have you ever seen a penis with a piercing? It's fucking terrifying. First of all, but it's also interesting. But that's not
about your trauma
conversation.
Yeah.
I hope that's not your question.
It's not.
Okay. Yes. So Dr. Down Under is fixing things like extra pee holes, and I forget. There was a woman one too. I forget what the woman had going on.
She had a cyst on her labia.
Oh, nice. Yeah. There you go.
They really use the word labia though. They said pee hole and then labia.
Right. Yeah. Why didn't they just say lips? I don't know. I mean, why didn't they just get down and dirty? That's what they said with the dude thing. The pee hole.
She's got a bump on her coochie. That's what they should have said.
A urethral duplication is the rare congenital anomaly that is characterized by two pee holes.
But he did it to himself though. He took a piercing out. It's not congenital.
A self-inflicted dual urethral.
Yeah, self-inflicted dual urethra.
Okay.
All right, anyway, the thing I'm struggling with here is how do you have a piercing so bad that you only end up with one pee hole? Like, I can understand if it was two.
It should be 3 pee holes, right?
Right. Well, no.
Unless one
through the skin and one punctured the urethra. Yeah, that could happen. Okay. That could happen. Right. You just you side-eyed it.
This has really gone for a turn.
All right. You have the potential to get up to 3 pee holes out of one piercing. This guy only got 2, though, so Think of it what you will. He only got 2 pee holes. Maybe that's what Dr. Down Under's addressing. Like, you got fucked. You should have 3 pee holes right now. You've only got 2. We can fix this.
Maybe that's how he got on the show. He was the rare guy with only 2 extra.
Only 2.
One extra.
And Dr. Down Under, we didn't watch the show, so maybe Dr. Down Under knows how to fix that. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Maybe he gave him the 3rd pee hole.
Yeah. So McNew, besides pee hole talk, what did you have a question in there? Or was it just all pee hole talk?
This went way off the rails. But I was saying that's a bad reality show, right? And there's so many out there. I've recently been hooked. I record it every week. Is Farmer Wants a Wife? I'm fully invested in these nice guys finding their wife. So what bad reality show roped you guys in for no reason? There's no reason I should like the show. It's fucking stupid, but I am invested in them finding love. So, what are you guys watching that's bad?
Man, I mean,
I've got this.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
I've got this. I spent an entire day watching 10 episodes in a row of a cooking competition where they were locked in a house, and I cannot remember the name of it. So they're all locked in a house, and they pit them against each other and have cooking competitions.
Okay.
10 hours in a row I watched this show.
Okay. Well,
that's some investment. Like
pressure cooker.
Pressure.
It was called pressure
cooker. Okay.
Pressure cooker.
I mean, I'm famously a fan of the show Big Brother. I can't say that there's any redeeming qualities about it. You don't learn anything wrong. You're not educated.
Same.
It's trash TV, but I love it. I can't help myself.
Just look at my judgment and then remember that I watched 10 hours of pressure cooker.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like on that show, the reason why it appeals to me, because you get to see how people really are. You want to always present yourself in a certain way, but you realize as soon as the shit gets down, someone always is going to do what's best for them. And then I also like the fact I could actually do that one. I mean, put me on Survivor, I'd be dead within a week. I mean, I can't do all that shit out in the jungle.
The sunburns, the bug bites.
Right, yeah.
12 hours in, I'd be like, I'm tapping out.
Yeah, I'm done. Show's over. But Big Brother, you're just living in a house. I can live in a house. Yeah.
Even when they're on slop, I'm like, you know what? I could do that. I could do oatmeal. I'm fine.
I could do that too. Yeah. And I'm annoying, so people would be giving up because they don't want to be in a house with me, I would think.
But also you have a following of people in real life. It would be very interesting to see then what people you created a new following, kind of like your ABV network people that
it would be a whole new farm. Yeah. Yeah. But you guys, if we were all on that show and you guys would be walking out, I'd be like, pull my finger. And there's they'd be like, no more. I can't take it, sir. Yeah. No. All right. Darren?
So I was originally going to try and make a joke about the Bourbon Daily or something but that didn't work out. And then I remembered that when I was working nights a year ago, one of the guys I was working with was from Bosnia, and he watches the show, and it's in Bosnian, but it's like Big Brother, but it's so much more dramatic. And so he would give me updates every night, because one time I was just trying to make conversation. It was 2 a.m. and he gave me these updates, and then I would go home and start watching the show in a language that I do not understand. And
I would watch that.
Yeah, the visuals description.
Yeah.
No subtitles or anything. It's just you just watch the show.
Going with the emotions.
Okay.
It's like watching
there was
those
something interesting
Latino
happening. The next night I'd be like, "What were they saying?" And they're like, "Oh, they were just cussing at each other." I was like, "Okay, cool." That was all that happened in the show. But
okay, all right.
The thing for a while.
Who else did everybody answer other than McNew?
I didn't. I agreed with yours, but I didn't answer my own.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. What's your?
Well, so actually, a really, really good show that I wasn't expecting is Down to Earth with Zac Efron and Darren. I always forget his last name. So I thought
McCroy?
It's O something. But anyway.
There is an O in there. It's in the middle of the second part.
It's like Ole Yarn.
Only Yarn. Yeah.
Something like that.
Darren McOnly Yarn.
He created the formula
sense.
that they use for Shakeology protein mix, but with Beachbody. But I thought it was going to be a really stupid show because it had Zac Efron in it, but actually is a really, really cool show where they go around and it's about nature and earth-friendly things, and we're in Australia for this one, and look at how they're doing like eco-friendly different items and animal-friendly, and it's been a really incredible show. I think they're in the second or third season now.
Boy,
I think second
it
season.
Sounds horrible. So,
but it's really interesting as well. And they go on like adventures and waterfalls and see really cool stuff. And
that sounds amazing.
So what's the significance of Zac Efron?
He's one of the hosts of it. I don't know, but he was like really into this, and I think he helped with like getting it. Apparently, yeah.
Does he say crikey when he's in Australia? Is he like crikey?
Crikey.
No, I wish he would.
That was Irish or Scottish. Crikey. Where the feck are you?
It helped me develop respect for Zac Efron, though, which is very interesting.
It's not like he's doing anything else these days, right? I mean, I don't know.
High School Musical's over.
Yeah.
But a show that I found low quality but highly entertaining was on Netflix called How to Build a Sex Room, and it's like
that show was wild. I'm very invested into that as well.
Really?
Home makeover edition. I don't know, combined with I don't even know what, but
is there like a host that comes in?
This lady comes in and she asks them questions and she designs a sex room for their house. And it is highly entertaining.
It is.
Do they use fake doors that look like their cabinets or libraries?
One, they had like a trap door that went down to like their basement, kind of like
it puts lotion on its skin.
Don't make me hurt your dog.
Some of them, they just call it a speakeasy next door, and then they.
All right, McNew, you asked the question, so you have to have a great answer here, I'm sure. What do you got?
So, very invested in Farmer Wants a Wife, but I also like Below Deck. Like Below Deck are just all terrible people, but I'm very invested.
Is that another one like the Dr. Down Below Deck?
Well, it's
that's a proctologist show. So
no, it follows around the crew of a yacht. Like they're just the hired hand or whatever, and there's so much drama. It's like Jersey Shore, but on a boat. But they're classier because they have to serve all these rich people. So Below Deck, they're messy.
They're not actually classier. They just have to act classier to be around the people they work for.
Yeah, but they're a hot mess once they're off.
Okay.
I will watch every season of Below Deck as long as it's on.
Sounds good.
I heard recently, I don't even know what the show is, but I saw a blurb on one of my news things that the captain guy, the old guy with the beard, has been not invited back.
Oh.
Really?
Well, that's sad. Actually,
this is news to McNew, but Steve's acting like he knows what I'm talking about. He's not a clue.
I think Steve just wants to be done with this conversation.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. So, I watch TV, but I don't because I always work at the same time.
Let's bring it back to the pee holes. Let's make it interesting.
The extra pee hole. Yeah, that's good. All right, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with McNew.
I have some just regular Remus.
Yeah, barely anything. All right. How about you, Kathy?
So, dealing with disappointments in bourbon, I am a fan of the sister show, the Bourbon Show.
Okay.
I understand your two co-hosts really dislike larceny. I came home from the heel party with 5 more bottles. I took
How does that happen?
I came back with 5.
I think you missed the point of the party.
Jim was like, get this crap out of my store, and I just started throwing it in my bag.
Right.
So I came home with this. It's not going to do much because it's a heel.
Nothing. That's terrible. Okay.
And this is with a different computer.
Okay. All right. Katie.
Also in theme with the show, I've got some Blantons. Now, this is technically straight from the barrel, which I would have more respect for someone who said specifically this one, but I grabbed Blantons in theme.
Okay, it's good. It's good. It could be beat, but it's the lead right now for sure. What do you got, Darren?
It was letter B.
I got some 10th Mountain Brandy.
Okay.
You took that?
Whoa! Boy, that was explosive. But Darren, you have to learn a hard lesson that, yes, Miss Kathy talked over your cork pop, and that means Katie still has the lead.
I'll Venmo you that 10 later, Kathy.
Yeah, wow, boy. All right, I've got Penelope Bourbon here, barrel strength is what I've got. So pretty full bottle, so I'm hopeful. Wow, that was decent. I don't know, McNew, who won?
I think Katie got it.
Okay.
It's close. Very close.
It doesn't seem like you were even listening there by your answer, but we have to accept it. We have to accept it. That's what she said. Katie wins. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about what is the most disappointing answers when it comes to the question, what is your favorite bourbon? We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to The Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about disappointing answers when we ask, what's your favorite bourbon?
Yes, we are. So, scenario, I mean, you know what your friends drink and stuff like that. So let's not go surprise, but let's go. Maybe you're involved in a new club. Maybe there's an event at the ABV Barrel Shop. You guys come and you're meeting some new people from the syndicate, and you happen to be sitting next to somebody you don't know, and you just want small talk because you don't want it to be awkward. So you're like, hey, what's your favorite bourbon? What would be an answer that you guys would say is extremely disappointing?
Really, anything that's completely unobtainable. So anything that like you're never going to be able to find, you're never going to be able to go try or go buy or have it. It's just like
Pappy 20s.
Like
23.
Even if someone's like, okay, so I've had Pepe 23. I absolutely love it. But here is the bourbon that I love that you actually could go find. Like if they just pair it with something else in the sentence, we're totally fine.
Right.
But someone who talks about a bourbon that like I'm not going to ever find or buy, I'm never going to be willing to pay for a pour that's expensive. Like the conversation is now dead. I don't care. I've lost interest. This doesn't add anything to my life. Cool. You're awesome. Way to go. I guess high five for being either stupid to pay that much money or lucky enough to have found it. I don't know what you're wanting from this with your answer. I went on way more of a rant with that than I really expected to. So I'm not sure.
No, I think
They're
that's
just
good.
trying to flex.
Yeah, I think it's
good.
good.
When they say Pappy
it made more
23.
sense. It made more sense than the ideas I had, which was Fireball.
Fireball. Your favorite bourbon's Fireball. That would be very.
Someone says my favorite bourbon whiskey is Fireball. I don't know where to go from there.
That's a tough one.
What you have in common?
That fits in with my second, but there's some opportunity there because maybe you could teach them about what is bourbon.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're probably, maybe not, but that would be my second answer is if they say their favorite bourbon is, and they answer not a bourbon. Their favorite bourbon's Crown Royal.
Crown Royal's my favorite.
Oh, there it is.
That's a classic.
So it's worse though, like when you go to a restaurant and instead of a whiskey list, they put bourbon list and they just throw
Yep,
like
the Crown Royal's
Oh
up
my
there.
God,
I've seen
yes.
Crown Royal on a bourbon list many times.
So-
yeah.
I've actually taken a pen out of my wallet and I crossed it off.
Corrected it for him.
And I wrote not a bourbon. And then on other ones I've taken bourbon, I crossed off and I wrote whiskey.
Okay.
You know what you should do is you
Work
should
out there,
carry
Kate.
around one of those whiteout stripe makers and just white them out.
That would be good. That'd be good. Yeah. Then people can't look underneath there. You know what it is. It's gone. It's just gone. Magic.
And they won't notice that
Yeah.
it's been defaced.
What else are some other disappointing answers? Here's one for me. Angel's Envy. To me, in reality, that's not even really bourbon. It's just along the lines of, they've done something different to it. They finished it, and it has such a flavor of the wine. I don't know. To me, it doesn't. It's no longer bourbon. I mean, I get people like it. I'm not saying it's a bad product, but I don't know.
Okay.
I feel
so
like
And that started all this.
do you think that's a lack of education though? Do you think that's an opportunity to try other things and they just haven't
Right. I
had?
feel like it's a gateway drink.
Okay.
That's
It's
Angel's Envy is a
disappointing,
gateway
though.
drug, man.
It's disappointing to me because in my example here, this is a syndicate member. This is someone who has enough and knowledge. This isn't someone randomly off the street who just started drinking bourbon last week. The people that come in the shop are
Okay, so someone who's purchased bottles from the ABV Barrel Shop, they know, they have the experience, and they're still saying Angel's Envy.
Right.
That's, okay. Okay, I got you.
That's a newbie one, I think. I agree.
So if this happens, are you going to rescind their membership?
No.
That really should be on the contract.
It should be. Yeah.
Should have added that in.
There should be terms and agreements.
So at time of renewal, you can add that in.
Okay, that's a good time
Everyone has to
to.
pass a test.
Yeah.
You can write a test.
Right.
There you go. I'll do the contract, and Kathy will prepare the test.
Okay.
And I'll score the tests.
Okay, that's key. I wait till you get to Evans. Evan is combative. Even when he's wrong, he'll go to his grave being wrong and yelling about it. So yeah, it's funny. Darren, what do you think? What's an embarrassing answer to what's your favorite?
Other than Pappy 23 or something very over the top, I think I don't know. I don't really care what people say. They can have their own opinions. They're wrong, but I don't.
But they're syndicate members.
If a syndicate member walked up to me and said my favorite bourbon is regular wild turkey at 80 proof, the 80 proof, not even 101,
Right.
I would probably lose a little bit of respect for somebody.
Yeah, or Jim Beam White Label. It's perfectly fine in a starter situation, but is it really your favorite?
Right.
Yeah.
Would it be your favorite? Yeah. What about someone who sings the praises of Basil Hayden's?
Oh,
That's cute,
So,
right?
I think that's another gateway thing. I think it can
I know.
always hold a special place in your heart, But I agree that once you have more experience, it should not be your favorite anymore.
I agree. I think it's a tough one to someone who's trying to present themselves as being a bourbon drinker to say that's one of my favorites, because it's just there's not enough there proof wise. Again, there's flavor there that it feels like a step up when you've drank just regular Maker's Mark or Beam White Label, and then also you drink Basil Hayden's, you're like, wait a minute, there's something going on here, but it's just not enough.
And if you have enough experience, your palate, I think, just biologically, your palate is going to develop beyond the point where you recognize that it's missing something that a lot of other bourbons can offer. And so while you can respect it, especially some of their different offerings, like maybe the double rye, etc., some of what else Basil does. And like Basil Hayden's one of my favorite ones to use if I'm going to do one of the infused situations where you get the infusers with the flavoring stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Like there's
how can we not?
Aged and Infused is a brand, and they sell these little glass jars with like dried oranges and cloves and spices, and you put a whiskey or a different spirit with it. Basil Hayden's is one of my favorite ones to use because it is a very mild, balanced base to use that then you can spice up. And it
isn't overtaken by all of those strong flavors of the dried fruits. You don't need something with a bigger proof to hold up to that.
I will try it with a bigger proof next time.
Are you using this to like scent a room or drink?
You infuse it for like a week in the fridge and then you pour it. So like you're adding flavor to it.
Okay. So you're not like infusing it and then it's like potpourri, because whiskey is potpourri. Fantastic. If you leave a couple glasses of whiskey around your house, the next day your house smells incredible.
It's a good way to get child services called too.
What if you don't have any children? Then it's potpourri.
Okay.
So anytime someone says, well, if it's not from Kentucky.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Oh, that's a good one.
That makes me want to go off on a tangent because it's like, I feel like at this point, like the world is at our fingertips every day in our phones. Like that's just being willfully ignorant. And I just don't have any patience.
Right. Again, this is a dream scenario. Wouldn't you love to have someone who say that? And again, like you're trying to tell them that's not the rules. And they're like, I don't care about the rules. The only good bourbon comes from Kentucky. Blind tasting, lay out 10 of them and say, hey,
immediately blind taste test.
Yeah. There's 5 that are from Kentucky, so you got a good chance. You got a 1 in 2 chance, and there's 5 that are not. Can you pick out the 5 Kentucky ones? And how many of those can you get? And I bet you it would be low. I mean,
or they say something like, "Oh, I only like Kentucky bourbon," but their favorite bourbon's a fucking MGP product. I'm like,
yes, yeah.
I love it when that happens.
I only like Kentucky bourbon. I like Barrel because it's a nice Louisville company. It's like sourcing. Again, not that there's anything wrong with sourcing, but
No.
And honestly, if you said I really like source stuff, you'd probably go up higher on my list, like because you know what you're talking about. Obviously, you're not going to be an idiot and not waste my time.
Right. Yeah. This is true.
Yeah. So I have a disappointing story that happened to me last week.
Okay. So
sure. I posted in my stories, I went to a raffle and they were just raffling off random things. And I got the Larceny Barrel Proof and the Basil Hayden's Toasted because that's really all they had left. So I posted it in my story and one of my followers replied with like, "Oh, I love that Basil Hayden's Toasted. It's from the same place of Knob Creek." And I was like, "Yep, gotta love Beam products." Dude tried to argue with me about it's not Jim Beam. And I wanted to be, I never say this, but I wanted to be like, "Do you know who I am?" Like, do this today.
Do you know who I am?
Later, he comes back and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know." And I'm like, how did you not?
How do you say that in a way that makes him feel like he should grow his education and not feel stupid?
Yeah, how do I just stopped responding because I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm highly disappointed. Like, you can unfollow me now. Like, we're
done. I think that just requires sorry, Katie. That just requires one short statement. Oh, honey, no.
Perfect.
Oh, honey, no.
That's what you say.
And then just leave it there.
Yeah.
Right.
It was wild.
Yeah.
The The audacity.
I know.
How dare they? How dare they?
Challenge
But
McNew.
it was just so it's like it was a man, so he was like trying to mansplain to me, and I'm like, no, just
Like, I've been on like over 1,000 podcasts. Like,
yeah. No, that's when I'm like, do you know who I am?
right.
Did you look at how many followers I have?
Look at us.
But
I'd hate to
he's
tell
so
him, but McNew's definitely winning in this who's dick's bigger competition.
Yeah. There you go.
here.
There you go. Fair enough. Fair enough. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures, also at the ABV Barrel Shop quite often.
Bourbon Adventures, that's the name of your... You've only been to like one distillery in your whole life. That's
yeah,
how
I
much
know.
of an
That's
adventure.
why it's going to be my adventures of going to all of them.
Okay.
It's all
So
the adventures about how he also wants to go skydiving and
It's a
bungee
slow
jumping
burn.
and all
Yes,
these things that he
yes,
hasn't done.
Right, he hasn't done.
Just hold a bottle of bourbon every time you skydive.
He's doing a lot. He's got a lot of to-do lists.
That'd
Is
be
what he's
good,
got.
actually.
Your account should be called to-do lists, and then you have all these.
What you
lists.
have when you're young, you have to-do lists, not to
Right.
done
Bucket
lists.
list.
Yeah.
To done lists.
Yeah,
To
to-do
done
list. Yeah. Yeah. My to-do list is to wake up in the morning, just breathe. Yeah. All right,
Breathe.
Kathy. You should breathe. Yes, Kathy. How about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me soon in Bourbon Zeppelin writing about my pop-ins on distilleries. You can find me on Instagram at KKCastStrength. And you can find me sitting at the tasting bar at ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay. I think we have you right under the pseudonym KK Poppins. Like Mary Poppins last name, it's KK
Oh my God,
Poppins.
it's adorable. I love it.
And the concept is, you just show up at the distillers, you pop in and then see what
Like
happens.
Mary Poppins, but I'm KK Poppins.
I'm KK
You need
Poppins.
a bag that you carry with you.
Her drunk cousin.
Yeah.
KK Poppins, her drunk cousin.
It's KK.
You need a signature bag you carry with you, like Mary
Yes.
Poppins bag or
Oh,
an
yeah.
umbrella, something. You gotta have a signature piece like Mary Poppins now.
Yeah.
Right. KK Poppins. All right.
KK Poppins.
Luckily, we've already talked to Darren because he just disappeared. All right,
I
Katie.
know, right?
How about you?
And we're still recording.
Yeah.
I think we offended him with those comments. It was too much.
He's went out on the plight to help us find who
I
the
think
hell
he's
has the
going-
audacity to
I think
challenge
he's
McNew.
going bungee jumping right now.
Yes, he can do makeup for lost time. You can find me flying people up like him to go skydive, but staying safely in the plane. And then also over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Do you ever take anybody skydiving?
I could
could.
technically. I mean, I have not. The opening in my airplane is about this big, so unless you're the size of a quarter, you're not leaving my airplane until we get back on the ground. But
Okay.
I mean, I have the license to fly that airplane that you could jump out of. So
Okay. Fair
I would
enough.
technically need a little bit of training first to make sure I don't
So
like fly
if you
into the
want
people
to
and
go
kill them. But yeah.
skydiving, do not call Katie.
No.
Give me like a
Obviously,
day
she
or
is
two.
not
I'm gonna
the
need
person to call.
I'm gonna need like 2 hours of training. So just give me like a 2-day heads up and then we're good.
Very good. Okay. McNew, how about you?
The YouTube video. I'm a pro. I got it.
Yeah, sure. McNew, where can people
I'm on
find you?
Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. We'd love it. Sign up for our email and text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. And be sure to ask us about the If You Know, You Know Speak Easy. We got that going on. Very exciting stuff. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.